morning, everybody. Let's talk some crypto this morning. It's been a busy day, been a busy morning overnight. We've had a lot of movement, and there's some interesting trades coming up that I want to chart myself this morning, and I'll show you guys what I'm in on. Before we get started, let's take a look at the DXY. Let me share my screen. Alright, look at this. This is pretty cool. DXY has pretty much done more or less what I thought it would do. I anticipated a retrace, and that's exactly what happened. We retraced up. That would have meant Bitcoin price would have gone down, and then we try to hit this demand zone down here, and Bitcoin price has gone up. Pretty cool. What do I think is going to happen from here? Well, that's another question. We're reaching this, keep hitting this demand zone here, like demand on DXY. What could that mean for the future price of Bitcoin? Well, I think we're going to sort of dip into this a couple of times, bouncing off it before we break through and hopefully see some higher prices on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Oops, wrong tab. I'll talk you through my Litecoin trade shortly. But let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Just to get myself orientated with where things are heading today. Mic is a bit, music is a bit loud. Let me turn the music down here. That's probably a lot better, hey? Hard to gauge the music volume every day because I play a few games at night, get my speakers going, change the headphones, and before I know it in the morning, everything's all different. Alright, for Bitcoin, we have seen, in my view, an even high. And we've broken through the 50% mark, which is good to see. Unfortunately, I missed out on getting into a long down here. I was in a long here. It would have been pretty good, but it was at the 50% range of that range, and I jumped out. So I could have got a decent trade in there, but in my view, I jumped out with only losing a small amount of my stop loss. And I would have been wicked out anyway with this massive big wick that came in here. So I was waiting for a better trade, and honestly, I'd rather wait for a better trade than take one that would have wicked me out. So price came up over the 50% zone. This is 50% of the entire range right here. This is the big hurdle we got to jump over. We're still in that 50% zone. I'm still not quite interested in doing a short. I'm going to wait for a high premium price for Bitcoin, and that for me is up here. This is the top of the range. Now this might be a little too extreme. It might be, in my view. This yellow marker here is 50% of the premium price. We may not reach this price. And looking at ETH, I'll show you why. So as Bitcoin currently stands, I don't see any good trades for me. None that I'm interested in. And this idea that I have right over here, I can't remember why that was my... This was going off this peak here, finding an order block there. And if I'm wrong on that one, I get straight into this one up here, the order block at the higher level. So these are two trades that I kind of like. If I lose one, I'm likely to get the other one. So I'll be looking for those ones in the future. What I'm seeing for Bitcoin though is we have even highs, relatively even high there, and an even high right here. So what's happening when we have even highs? An even high there. And roughly one here, which has seen a massive rejection, so stops are getting placed right there. Whoops, go away. Stops are getting placed. What happens when stops are getting placed? Well, it creates a liquidity zone for smart money to come up and take. We could see Bitcoin have a quick liquidity grab up here because in my opinion, right here, it'd be where a lot of retail traders will be sticking their money. We can take away this liquidity here. It's gone. It's been taken. And we now know liquidity is sitting up here. Stops are sitting up there. People going short on this line are putting their stops there. And we can expect that liquidity to have a higher likelihood of getting taken. And the next time that a wick, a stop hunt happens, we could probably see prices come up, hopefully trigger my trades here and drop substantially. I don't see, let's just have a look here. Like, retail traders love to draw lines. They love trend lines. We do draw a trend line. We do have one. All right, I'm just gonna get rid of my, not get rid of my old trade, but just make it smaller. That's definitely a trade I'm interested in if price would come back to my levels. I'll just get rid of my confusing drawings. Now, when I use my trend lines, I'm not using these to look for an entry point. I am absolutely not doing that. That is retail trading. I am drawing a trend line. You can't hear me? You can't hear me at all? Ah. Is that better? Is that better? Can you hear me now? Trouble is my let me just turn down my music in the background. Is that better? Can you hear me? Trouble is my mic is in the yellow zone if I do that. Let me see if I can turn a filter off. I got like a noise gate. Let's turn that off for now. Tell me if this is better. Alright. So we got a trend line here. We are not using trend lines to look for an entry point. That is a retail mindset. Instead, we are looking at a trend line to know exactly where retailers are putting their stops. We do have a trend line here from here all the way up to here. So we've got 2 points of intersection on that line, and stops, long stops, are getting placed here. The next place we could probably see a long stop get placed will be sometime when this price action hits this line. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that we're going to see a stop hunt come up and come down, or come down and go up. It doesn't really help me figure out where I want to go if I want to place any sort of trade on this on Bitcoin right now, because it's really right on that midline. I'm looking for trades down the bottom here, and I'm looking for trades up the top, and I'm not taking anything in between because I'm not risking my money on bad trades. I've seen a lot of people throwing a lot of trades into the chat recently, into the Discord. And honestly, a lot of those are really risky trades. Have we all not been listening to Nick? We're looking for high probability trades. I want my win rate above 50%. I'm looking for high probability trades. So for Bitcoin, for me, I'm going to wait and see. And I didn't mean to rhyme. That's a really shit rhyme. I am going to wait and see though. And I am going to watch. And you guys can watch too, as what I say happens will probably happen. We're probably going to see a stop hunt come up, and we're probably going to see a stop hunt come down. If the stop hunt comes down far enough, maybe I could have a look at a different entry point. Let's see. I was greedy on this entry point. You see that my entry price was really, really low. And this entry price here was right on the 50% of that OB, maybe a little bit lower. I was getting greedy. And greedy is fine. It is perfectly fine to be greedy with your entry points. You may miss out on the trade, but there's trades every day, nearly every day, or all the time. And when there is a bunch of trades in a day, that's like Christmas. So the idea here is to make a fair amount of money when the market is at its premium point for you. Not premium in terms of price, but make a fair amount of money when the market's doing really well. Now, we don't have a big supply or demand zone here, just here and here, which is pretty low compared to where I want to enter this. So I just want to see, can I get a decent entry right on that OB? If I can take it up to the 50% zone, yeah. If I can take it up to this OB, not quite. So yeah, I'm going to have to keep this at that level. Chances are it might see resistance if it pops up past here, even here, isn't great. And I wouldn't be doing a trade. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm trying to find where I can put my trade and get a 3-to-1 on the lowest OB that it could hit. And the reason I want to do that is because we have a big supply zone right here. So if price drops through, this would be the first point people are going to want to sell their Bitcoin. So if price does drop here, comes through here, picks up my trade, and it makes it to here, I'm only getting a 2.3 risk to reward ratio, which is not quite enough. I want my first OB to give me 3, because if we get up to that point, I want to take profits there, potentially, and then, or at least move my stop loss up there, and then potentially if we go up further, get a way better trade. So how can I get a 3 there? I can put my entry price down. Right there. That's where I'm going to leave it. Right there. I could move my stop loss up. I see a lot of people running tight stop losses. That's just asking for trouble in my opinion. So that's the trade that I am looking for. And if I don't get that trade, I'm not interested in jumping in. High probability trades only. And think about that feeling you get when you lose your stop loss. I'm trying to avoid that. I do not want that. Having said that, I want to be in trades as long as they're good. Now looking at ETH is where I'm starting to think this looks kind of exciting. I know a lot of people might have actually been able to jump in on this trade. ETH has come up and it's just touched the top of its range here. God, that was good. Would have been great if it stayed in that zone, and it might come up and it might play in this zone. So this is the trade I'm looking for. I think ETH is going to come up and tap me in, and then I think it's going to start to drop. I may have missed this point, but let's see if we could have even have got in. Let's see if I could have tapped in. Keeping my stop where it was. No, look, I would have to it'd have to be a monster movement. And at the next OB, we're at a 2, so that's not even close. You could say you were going to do this, and that would be viable. That would be viable, but that's not what I want to do. I want better trades, just in case. And the reason why there's a bit of a just in case for ETH here is because Bitcoin has further to go up. If Bitcoin does keep going up here, then this ETH trade would be invalid. And we'd be looking at a much higher structure somewhere around here. Okay, so keep that in mind. And that's why you do not want to over-risk yourself by adding in a bunch of trades off one idea. So if my idea is that ETH is going to hit this high of its range and come back down, don't overindulge on that idea, because Bitcoin, it still could climb up. And if Bitcoin climbs up, well, ETH's going further. If ETH does go further, where would it go? We've got this price structure over here. And I didn't include this price structure here when I was looking at the range of my price down below. I didn't include that at all. This to me was the previous structure. The lowest point in the previous structure. So I didn't include that. Could I have been wrong? I could have absolutely been wrong. Always. This could be an enormous demand zone right here. No, sorry, supply zone. Enormous supply zone. Let's just see if it's there on the 4-hour. Yeah, not so much on the 4-hour. We're just red candling away there. On the 2-hour, you got a much tighter zone there, but on the 1-hour, yeah, that's a demand zone. No, sorry, a supply zone. So, could ETH come up here and tap that in? It's potentially, yeah, it could. It could. I don't think that's likely. That's a huge jump. Let me get rid of this. We need to get rid of the noise now. That's a huge jump. Massive jump. I don't feel like it could make it, and if it did, I would be targeting 50% of this OB for a short. But for now, I do think this target here is reasonable for ETH if I'm going to take a trade. So I'm going to pop that in a bit later. The trade that I am in Litecoin. I've got a short here. We've even had a confirmation. We've had Litecoin coming up and tap in here. Now, Litecoin did take my stops. I had a trade earlier off this OB here. Price came up and took my stops. That was my bad. That was a silly trade there. Here I was telling everybody I should be taking the higher trades and I should be going for the higher prices, and I took a trade that didn't take into consideration how high this price could go. That was my bad. Now I've got a much safer trade here. If price comes in and breaks this point here, breaks this high, my trade is invalid and we're in long territory. I won't be taking it long because it's the top of the structure, but potentially the price, if it breaks here, will go further. So this is the trade I should have made. This is the trade that I'm in now. I'm not chasing a loss, but I did want to be in a trade that actually ticked all of my boxes. So this is a trade of three risk to reward, and I do expect, my expectation here is I'll take half profits here and full profits down here probably at the 50% line, or maybe just let it ride. Maybe just move my stop loss down to that point, lock in that money, and just see if the price continues to drop all the way to the bottom of the structure. That's the idea with Litecoin. What should I be looking at next? All right, let's do a quick market scan. I won't do my ETH market scan because I want to put that ETH trade on. Let's have a look at OP. Damn, OP. Doing well. Doing very well. We've broken free of that 50% line. OP is just like ETH. I mean, this is nearly in short territory for me. We got even highs. Right here. Even highs. What do we know about even highs? I repeat this all the time. We're creating liquidity above here. And I think price may actually come higher on OP. There's room there for it to go higher, which makes me kind of worried about my Litecoin short. I mean, if I'm looking at this short, this is the best place to put a short. At the top of the range, it's the best place. Could I be wrong? Absolutely, I could be wrong. I'm seeing a few things that may hint that I could be wrong, but I'm going to let my TA do the work. And I mean, for me, this is all about time in front of the charts, reviewing the charts, and learning from patterns and mistakes. So I'm seeing this pattern here that ETH is looking like it might retest its highs. Bitcoin at the same time, was looking like lower than ETH, but could come up and potentially, be a wave to push these things up. So I'm actually really interested to see what happens from here. Will my trade get taken out? And if so, well, that'll be great for all of us to review and learn, won't it? We'll have a look at Link, and we'll have a look at BIT. You've got an order for a long trade on those. Interesting. All right, we'll take a look. We will definitely take a look. For OP, not quite short territory for me. If I was going to take a short, there's a few places I would consider. And to figure out where I'm going to consider, just use my ruler tool. So we're looking at the halfway point. Right now we are in premium prices, but I want premium prices. So for me, anywhere above this yellow line is probably somewhere I'd be interested in taking a short. And I would have a couple of opportunities. So I'd have a couple of ideas here. Because the price may not get to the top of the structure. If it does, I want to be ready. If it does get to the top, I'll be looking at the biggest area, which would be, look at those massive candles. What do we got in the 4-hour chart? price comes up, price rallies, price drops. So we have a nice order block at the 4-hour chart right there, creating a lovely supply zone. So this is back in August. Damn, that's back in August. That was a huge drop. Okay, so that's the supply zone feeding our top of our structure over here. As for where I'd be looking, price comes up, price rallies, price broke right here, breaking structure from, what would we say? Price comes up, price rallies, price dropped here. The last up candle before the drop was right here. All right, that'd be my first area of interest that I'd be looking to take a short from on OP. And what I would do, because that's a 4-hour, I'd be looking closer in the 1 hour as price came up to show me some structure. When at this point with this kind of price action, we're probably not going to see it come up and dip the tip in and then drop. I think we'd come up, and I actually think it might try and do a higher high. So I'd just be looking in these areas here, and I'd be looking for price action to show me that it's actually going to come all the way down. So I'd be looking for a breakdown, and that's when I'd probably be looking to create an entry point. And if I was going to create an entry, it would definitely have to be safe. So when we're at the peaks here, it's great at the peaks because you can have a nice big stop loss, and you know if the price comes above here, it's a higher high. Beautiful. There's an easy return risk to reward ratio of 3 at 50% of this OB. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm going to keep that open. All right, let's take a look at Link. I need to add Link. Link. No, it says I got it. There it is. All right. Link, where are you? From October, let's get rid of this line here. I don't know what that was, but we'll double check. From October all the way through to the first, I was going December, that's in the future, but no, December is now. All right, where are we? If this was top of the structure and this is bottom of the structure, we are just above the midline. So Link is in no territory for me to be taking trades. No way. The time for Link was down here. And what I will do as well, what I've been doing lately is just breaking these up further. So from the top now to the middle, this will define where I want to take my shorts from. Just roughly. I mean, I don't need to be exact here. And then from the middle to the bottom here, where I should be taking my longs from. Hopefully you took your long below this line. Hopefully. I mean, this point here, I mean, look, it's down to your appetite for risk. I'm not here to say whose trades are right or wrong. I'm only here to say what's right for me and my appetite for risk right now with my current size of investment. For a lot of people, this would have been a great place to take a long. For me, I'm looking for prices down here. And to take a short, I mean, this is a massive, big demand zone. This is huge. You went between 50 and 25, so you went between here. I can't say it's wrong. I wouldn't say it's wrong at all. I know that Nick would probably say, not the best trade. Not the best trade. He'd be looking for more prices down here. But This is actually interesting for this short opportunity up here. It's funny. I can tell a lot of people are going to be watching this stream, and they're going to be like, I don't care what you say. I don't care where you'll take your shorts and your longs. I'm doing this. And they're going to win some trades, but they're going to lose most of them. I've been there. That was me. I've been there before. And after a while you go, damn, maybe this guy Nick actually has some good ideas. Maybe I should, listen to him more. And I'm not Nick, by the way. So if anyone else is watching who doesn't know who Nick is, Nick's our coach, full of wisdom. But after a while I started listening to him. But then there's listening and there's understanding what he's trying to say. Looking for the next zone down. I'm going to have to, if I'm going to take this trade, just bring that stop loss down. You didn't consider the range? Yeah, it's probably the biggest mistake I used to make. Just trying to jump in those next trades as quickly as possible. Who was it? There was someone who messaged me the other day from our Discord. I won't say who. Maybe it was you, 2 cookies. I don't know. I can't remember. Let me find it. It was pretty sure definitely not you. Okay, so they said they just wanted to reach out. Good job on the channel. Thank you very much. Personally, they've got a lot of value out of it, which is great to hear. That's why I do these. Well, not really. I do these for me. You guys can get value from me making a fool of myself if you like. That's fine. But there was, this particular person said there was a light bulb moment that went off in their head after 8 months. And I've been doing this about 8 months too. So I think we were actually starting this together. And it blew this person away when they saw something so simple and how it clicked. And they've taken that and backtested. But by that, they mean that they're actually putting the lines in their charts in the same way that I do, which is the same way Nick does. And since they've started doing that, they backtested all of these trades, only taking ones in the good zones, and all of a sudden they're having trades of 178%, 100%, 165%, and they're trading more with clarity and confidence because of this one little thing. And I am too. I'm trading with a lot more confidence because I know the trades that I'm making are in better places. All right. So for Link, I'll be looking for a short at this point, and it looks like we might even, at some point very soon, be coming up to test that theory. For shorts, I'll be taking it down here. As I said before, this area here, if we look from, say, November down to here, so this was only the 15th of November, so this is the lowest of this structure. So up in here is kind of like it's still discounted price. What time zone? What time zone? Do you mean, oh, what time frame? I was going to say Aussie, mate. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what time frame you use. Look, it's going to be the same no matter what. But for me, I'm looking at the structure from the last 30 days. And look at my lines. They're terribly uneven. They don't even, these are just rough guesses for me too. They don't need to be perfect. Even when considering from August, they don't change. From August, they're the same. I go out as far as I can to look at the overall picture. We're lucky in terms of Link that the structure has been ranging this whole time in this same range. Look at that. From as far back as I was using different colored indicators. From April. No, this is 12th of May. We've been ranging in this range from 12th of May. So, I mean, what do you think an institution is going to look at when they come in and look at the chart? Do you think an institution is going to... the bad weather? Yeah, it's actually going to start storming outside. But I'm on fiber, so my internet should be pretty damn fast. Yeah, sorry about your reception over the pond, mate, over in New Zealand. Goldie's had pretty good weather lately, though. So, alright, so Link has been ranging since May. And when an institution comes in with a big bag and they want to start trading, then they're like, you know what, Link is the coin for this particular trade. They're coming in and they're looking at these wide time frames to figure out where, for them, a discount is going to be. You think an institutional trader is going to come in with a long here? No, they're not. You think they're going to zoom in down to here and try and find a trade there? No, they don't care about zoomed in. No way. There's no way you'd risk that kind of thing with a large amount of money. You would take a look at the overall structure, where we are for the past 6 months. You can look at where we are for the last 3 months. You look at where we are for the last month. And you try and find an area here that's going to give you a discount. And you'll be patient. You'll be patient. When you've got, you know, $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 to invest, you are patient. And you wait. And when you go in, you know that you're going to create a movement on the chart. You know that. So you've got that in the bag. You know exactly the kind of reaction you're going to make on the chart. And you need to be aware, and they are wary of that, and they know the impact. And a lot of the time they play games with that. We've just got to be aware of those games. All right, that's Link. What was the other one? BIT. Let's have a look at BIT. Or BIT. I call it BIT because I don't want to get it confused with Bitcoin. I don't even know if I've got it, to be honest. Let's add you. And to be clear, I don't know anything about these coins. Yeah, that's cool, man. We'll still look at it anyway. I don't know anything about these coins. I don't know anything about their history, other than BTC and ETH, which I do know a fair bit about, but not as much as other people. So when I look at these coins, I'm looking at what to trade purely on a chart basis. Oh, that's okay. I hope you've been helped. I hope that help actually makes you money. It slowed my trades down a lot. Oh, you were in a long on BIT and you've just cancelled it? This price structure looks great. This is from November. We are at a huge discount. That's the 50% line. Let's do from the top of this structure. You went from the other. Oh no, this, because you got to take into consideration, yeah, the overall, but also the current structure. So this is a new structure. And bearing in mind, this is all subjective. So this is a new structure to me. That's the important bit there. And we'll just take another ruler from this 50% line to the bottom. All right. We are in discounted prices. We were in heavily discounted prices. And if you took a long from anywhere down here, I reckon that's a good trade. I think that's a very good trade. But look at this. Look at the manipulation happening here. That was a straight up liquidity grab. Price just fell through and all of that liquidity was taken. I don't know how much liquidity was there, but it was all taken. Yeah, I'm not liking the BIT chart. Oh my God. You had an order at 0301. Yeah, a bit high from my view. Cancelling that may be a good move. Because if you are considering, say, the last week of trading, we're on that 50% line, this whole from 22nd of November. Best place to get in on this would have been right here. Right there. And even there is borderline. Right here would have been good. That would have been a decent trade right there. Coming in from this breaker block, going all the way up, that would have been great. And one thing you might want to consider, taking a fib from the bottom of the low to where it was. That's a 60% retracement right there. That trade would have been fire. So what I like to do Whenever I'm looking for an entry point, grab your fib, take the bottom of the structure to where it currently is, and it was there. It went to there, and you were trying to find an entry point. I'd be looking at the 50 to 60% retracement, preferably, if you can, be looking down here, but you don't often get that kind of retracement. This golden zone, 50 to 60%, we had a breaker block there. We also had a demand zone as well from this push up. So this, and I know it's easy to look over these in hindsight. I understand. Just because I look at these in hindsight doesn't mean I'm going to get them all the time, but this is how we learn. Time in front of the charts, looking at these, what do you call it? These patterns that emerge, so that when we see these patterns in real time, we can jump on these. And I've seen Dan do that. Dan will sit here and he will backtest and backtest and backtest. And he does a lot more backtesting than I do. I want to actually have more backtesting in these streams so that I can show you guys what we should be doing. So that when he sees these patterns occur in real time, he's making these amazing trades. Can you imagine that? Imagine getting in on that one. Taking a long, setting your stop loss to here. Hitting your first target would be right here at 3.25. That's fantastic. And you can just let it run. Just let that run all the way to the top of the structure. Just moving your stop loss along the way. Oh man, that's such a good trade if you manage to pull it up that far. And like if most of your trades are getting that 3-to-1 and you got a 50% win rate, you're gonna be making profit. But then when you get that kind of trade where you can get a 12 risk to reward return, that's gonna really bolster your profits a lot. And that's with a 50% win rate. So we can do a lot of damage here. Like not damage, we can do a lot of profit. It's possible. Going to go through some of the coins that I saw opportunities on yesterday. I think I put these in order. I think. No, it doesn't look like I did. Oh, look at this. 50% of the range. Oh man, these skewed lines are really annoying me. I really got to learn to draw a straight line. Maybe I should use a ray. I'll probably use a ray next time. Okay, so looking at Solana, no. Solana is nowhere near any type of zone I am willing to take a trade. Coming into the premium prices here, but we've got a long way to go before actually in the zone that I'm looking at. ETC. Yeah, sort of in no man's zone right now. Chili's. I really wish I had got a short on that one. But right now, Chili's is not in a tradable zone for me. I'm waiting for it to come back up or come back down. Matic. Yes, same thing for Matic. Almost reaching into premium prices, nearly there. Come on, you can make it. You can make it. BNB sitting above the premium price 50% zone. These, I feel like these stops may have been taken, and these ones are now quite old. So there may be some type of what do we call it? A imbalance down here because these stops were there and they've probably been profited from up here. That may leave it a bit of an imbalance down here, so price could potentially sweep down and come back up at some point, but I am thinking BNB will be retesting higher prices soon. EOS. It's been a while since I looked at EOS. Is it still even in the top 20? I don't even know. But looking heavily discounted. Looking heavily discounted right now. I don't know why I haven't looked at this one. Let's have a look. So this was back in May. This is quite a wide structure that I'm looking at here. Just taking my ruler to have a look at the rest of this. From there and to there. Yeah, so I might consider doing a long on EOS. Looking at where we've come from, look, we've got a couple of even highs over here that haven't been taken out. We could even consider this point here to be an even high from this supply zone right here. From the bottom, we have even lows. No, we don't really, but we do over here. Unless we just, yep, even lows right there. So we do have further, I mean, I don't know if price is going to come down and take those lows for sure. That'd be breaking structure, like that'd be breaking a long structure. And it looks like we have a very decent demand zone. Let's just have a look all the way to the left. So nothing historically telling us that this is a demand zone, but we should see something on the higher time frames here. If we look closely enough, we should be able to find those are some long candles down. So that was broken through. This supply zone, this demand zone here, well and truly broken through. But we have a big one right there. Let's have a look at the 4 hours, see if I can make a bit more sense of it. It's a very big, awful candle. But down here we've potentially got a zone there that we could look at. Okay. Can we get a trade out of this? Can we take a long, but still keep it safe? What I mean by safe is, can we make it so that it's just below that candle there and still get a decent trade? Oh, it's gonna be tough. If you break out of this structure though, the next area gives us a 4.5 risk to reward, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's worth considering in my view. Considering we've also had even highs, there is liquidity building up here like a pressure pot. And we could easily see price come down, pick that up and go up. Especially if, where's my Bitcoin? Let's get out of the DXY. Well, if the DXY drops through, prices are going to go up. But I think the DXY will come up a little bit, come and retest up here before it drops down further. Looking at Bitcoin. It does look like it could climb. I'm going to keep EOS open. Well, not open. I'm not going to open a trade. I'm just going to keep this open and we'll just watch it because I do like that trade. I'm going to pop that over to the front of my list. And Litecoin I'm currently in, but wary of because Bitcoin could be turning bullish in my view. All right, what else we got? Matic. Did we look at Matic already? We may have. GMT. I know I was interested in GMT. It's another one of those ones that are at the bottom of its structure, well and truly, with a lot of liquidity building up in this structure here. The prices are at discount. And I'm somewhat interested in getting in on a really good trade here. I'm being greedy though. That's a 6. Where could this this could go to here, giving me a 3. So I could easily get a risk to reward ratio of 3 from this. And that is, to me, a relatively safe trade. My stop loss is even below the low over here. I'm going to keep that on my to-do list. XRP, I don't think there was any XRP trade that I was looking for. Nope. ADA. Yeah, we're looking at, like, we are at the bottom of structure for ADA, for sure. There's no doubt about that. If you can get the price down here. What I didn't like about ADA though was it's just been moving down. The structure is awful. Doesn't look like there's any push to go to the upside at all for ADA. AVAX. Similar thing. Price just looks awful, but it is ranging. It is ranging. And right now we are at the top of the range. Okay. That's not what we should be looking for. Top of the range. It's worth considering, perhaps. KNC, my old friend. How are you doing these days? Wow. Broken free of your range. Fantastic. Glad I didn't put that trade on. So this is broken through. It's taken out all that liquidity. That liquidity is now gone. But what stopped it from going further up? Nothing. I don't see anything that stopped it going further up. Where could I take a short from? Let me just clean this chart up a little bit. Because I think there might be an opportunity brewing here for KNC. Last up candle before a huge volume drop. I'll take that. I'll take that entire range, including those tiny little ones down there. Make sure I get the top perfectly. Otherwise it feels bad. All right. Yeah. I think KNC is going to come test up here. We've still got liquidity built up down here to come and take out. I think we could see KNC hit this point and then come down there. In which case, I'll be looking for a long. This is a great setup. You can have a very high stop loss here. I like this. Could even take it all the way down. KNC, you're on my list. So what do we got? We've got Litecoin, which we're currently in a short for. We've got ETH that could come up, take a short. We've got EOS, looking for a long opportunity once we come back down, but we're not going to be looking for a long because I'm looking for shorts right now. For Bitcoin to be interested in a short, it's got a long way to go. So I do think that we might see Bitcoin come and test this point here and this point here. I don't think Bitcoin's going to reach the point where I'm going to be interested for longs, for shorts. I don't think so. But I am looking for Bitcoin to reach a point and hit a retracement in order for my other shorts here to be valid. If Bitcoin continues to go up and it breaks through this point here with a huge big movement up, I'm going to have to second guess these trade ideas that I have and this one that I currently have on. But I'm going to keep it on because I do think price may come up, may even retest these boundaries. But I think once we see a retracement from ETH and Bitcoin, my shorts will be valid. So only then I'll be looking for that long. So I've got two longs that I was looking at. I've got the ETH short that I want to put in. And I'm currently in the Litecoin short. So I've got a KNC short potential. I've got an ETH short potential. And I've got longs for the retracement times. Now, I mean, Bitcoin could come down. These could get picked up and then we could go long. That could happen. But we'll wait. I'll watch this price action and see how we go. All right. Shall I put this on? I want to put this ETH trade on. If we do see price quickly jump up, I want to be in. But I want this to be a smaller trade. That's my potential take profit 2, but take profit 1 will be more like here. All right. Let's get this in. That's what she said. Okay. So we're going to go ETH 25 short. I'm going to get rid of this one. You know what? Let's just use that one there. This was a trade idea that didn't get triggered. So we'll just modify that one. Whoops, entry point 1331. That was close enough. It was close to my original idea. Profit 12.17. Stop loss 13.57. Very close to my original idea. All right, and that is a stop loss ratio of 1.98. 1.98. All right, so cost will be $30. Let's get this in the system now. You can see there my trade's already at $10 profit. Hope to see more of it though. All right, Bitcoin, ETH price. And we're doing a $29 order. Make sure it's isolated 25. We're gonna do a short. Take profit at. Now once this trade gets triggered in, I actually go and play with my take profit and my stop. Oh, not my stop will stay. I'll be removing my take profit from there and I'll be adding it in as a market order, a limit order at 50%. That way when I hit my original take profit, I'll take 50% off the table automatically. And from there, I'll add in the take profit 2 zone into this part here. If it hits today, I'll definitely show you guys what I'm talking about. Why are you doing this to me? ETH? Are we on ETH? Yeah, that's ETH. Sometimes it does this. It tells me my profits and losses are wrong. Let's put it on anyway and just make sure. Actually, let's cancel that. I don't know what these trades there are, but I want them gone. Ah, damn. I just killed my Litecoin profit 1. So let me fix that while we're here. Profit level there. This is what I was talking about. I've already done it. So my take profit here for Litecoin is going to be $148, but I'm doing a limit order at that price there to take 50% off the table. Okay, now Bitcoin, let's run that again. Entry, I need my take profit And my stop. Open that. Yeah, why are you doing that to me? Let's try it again. Order by value, $29. That is the value, right? Must could have the wrong entry price. Order cost $29. Yeah, that's correct. Take profit. When this happens, sometimes there's a bug, and then sometimes I've done something stupid. If it's happening while I'm streaming, my bet is I've done something stupid. Let's find out. Really? Isolated 25. Yep. What happens if I make my value 290? Unless, okay, let's just double check I've got my numbers correct. Yeah, this is a 1.98. Yeah, that's correct. Why are you doing this to me, Eth? Let's just double check. What have I got wrong? Oops. $1.98 stop loss ratio. Risk $14. 13.31. Take profit is going to be 12.17. And stop is going to be 13.57. Wait. Yep, 13.57. Yeah, looking at ETH. Oh dear, what are you doing? That can't be right. Okay, let me just reset my... I'll reset these. This can sometimes, I don't know why Bybit does this sometimes, but I'm just going to reset these. Then I'm going to reset these back to 25. Order by cost, $29. There you go. Thank you, Bybit, for moving my order placement preferences. Yeah, when we do our ordering, it should always be order by cost. And then Bybit just likes to screw you over every now and again and change your preferences for you. All right, so the order by cost there is 29. We're doing a short, and that is in the system, ready to go. So we have ETH ready to go, and we have my Litecoin stop and take profit ready to go at 50%. So for this to happen, we're expecting ETH to come up a little bit, trigger in, and hopefully drop from there. And I am being overly greedy on this one. I'm only taking this trade. I think that's like 55% of the OB within this supply zone here. If I don't get it, I don't get it. I don't really care. I don't need to be in it. If I don't get it, I don't get it. Okay. If the price comes up, just misses my entry point and drops, do you know what I'll be doing? I'll be looking for an entry point here. Once the price has shown me that it's turning around, I can look for smaller trades within this zone. So you don't need to panic about not getting in, okay? This is my ideal trade. This is the one that I want. If I don't get it, and I still feel like the price is definitely going to drop, and it's still in my zone, I'll find an entry on the 15-minute. Even if I get in this one, and I like it, I'll find another entry in my sub-account on the 15-minute. So in Bybit, you can have more than one account. Where are we? Where is my account here? You can see this is Obi-Wan Assassin. I can switch my account. I've got 2 accounts at the moment. So I can have a short on one account and I can have a better short on another account. If I'm sure of the trade. And remember, the idea is we pick a nice big trade that's going to take us all the way to a point that follows all the rules and ticks all the boxes. And once we're in that trade, we can take smaller trades. When the market is ideal, we can have a day where we take many, many, many trades. But when the market sucks, we're not risking it. We're not risking it. All right? So, well, I'm not risking it. You guys can do what you want, but I'm not risking it. Now, for KNC, I'm probably going to wait. I'm going to wait and see if this price does come up. And you know what? Screw it. I actually think it's a good trade. Unless there's some sort of a breaker block over here, which I don't think there is. Like, there's no reason for it to stop here. There's nothing historically here to tell Bybit that that's a good area to stop. So I am going in. I'm going in for a short. I'm at least going to put it into my spreadsheet. KNC. KNC has made me a lot of money in the past. Not that that means it's going to make me a lot of money now. So I don't know why I said that. But I remember back in the day, I longed KNC all the way up and then I shorted it all the way down. So someone asked me how I've been doing trading wise this week. Look, I've only lost. These were from 2 weeks ago. I lost 1 trade and I sold 1 trade early. These were some unfortunate trades. Since I've been streaming, I haven't been actually putting a lot of trades on. Mostly because I've been talking through my old mistakes and being a lot more patient. So this stop loss ratio would be, well, that's huge. Is that right? All right. 7.98. The bigger your stop loss ratio, the less amount of capital you need to put in to get your trade on. 7.98. And you may also notice up here, my risk ratio when I first started streaming was 5%. And since talking to Nick, or since watching Nick's last Zoom with all of us, I've reduced that down to 3. All right, so let's get our entry point here. Profit level. I would be interested in taking half profits for this one. As soon as I reach that 3 times risk to reward, and that would be, and I'll set this up as soon as I'm finished. Because we don't really have a huge demand or supply zone, I can target this one for a 3. So that's where I'll be putting my first take profit, right there. Second take profit will be at the bottom of the zone, down here, wherever that was. All right. The question is, do we pop this on in Bybit now, or do we wait? Wouldn't consider going long on KNC from pullback retracement all the way to supply zone. You know, I probably would have back in the day, but considering that it's above my 50% zone, yeah, I'm not really interested in that. If my appetite for risk was higher, I probably would do a long for sure, but no, definitely not anymore. I am just trying to be conservative. Just trying. And even considering if this top part of the structure here that I'm targeting, even if I'm considering that is part of this current structure, we're already in premium prices. And we don't do longs in premium prices. What are my rules, boys? Do you remember? And girls, if you're watching. What are my rules? Rule number 1, let's go through them. Rule number 1, shorts at premium prices, longs at discounted prices. That is rule number 1. That's the first rule, the most important rule. Rule number 2, we are never trading at 50% of the Bitcoin range. Wow. I'd put Bitcoin in there because I wasn't happy trading at 50% Bitcoin range. We are at 50% Bitcoin range. This is the rule I need to actually decide for myself now. Am I trading on all coins if Bitcoin's at 50%? Or am I just not trading Bitcoin or other coins at their 50%? Some experimentation will be needed for that. All right. Rule number 3. Must be able to target the next OB with a 3 or above. And by OB, I mean must be able to target the next supply zone or the next demand zone and get 3 risk to reward ratio or above. Rule number 4. Stop loss will be 25% of the OB or the supply demand zone. And it must be set to where my bias means that I'm wrong. Or set to a point where if that does fail, my next trade will kick in. Rule number 5. We do not go against the Bitcoin bias. I do not go against the bias. Bitcoin is my lighting, what would you call it? My compass. Bitcoin is my compass. If Bitcoin's heading north, I'm looking for ways to head north on other coins. If Bitcoin's heading south, I'm looking for ways to head south. So for me, Bitcoin, I think we could see higher prices. Having said that, I am in this Litecoin short here because at the time where I took this, I thought Bitcoin was going to lower prices. Right now today, I'm thinking Bitcoin might go a bit higher. But I'm not too worried because I think if Bitcoin does go higher, as it has done over the day, Litecoin is just ranging. And I do think once Bitcoin reaches a certain point, and I think it might even be ETH that might reach this certain point, I think we'll see the retracement happen. In which case, I'd want to be in that short. That's my thinking right now. I don't think Bitcoin's going to reach these highs. I think it's going to reach somewhere in this mid zone here, and then we'll see a retracement. That's my thinking. Hence why I'm looking for shorts. And if we do see a long, I think Bitcoin's going to struggle to get over this supply zone here, and it's going to really struggle to get over this supply zone here. We're not going to see a breakout. Probably going to be ranging. Remember, Bitcoin ranges 90% of the time. That was rule number 5, if I'm not mistaken. Rule number 6. And I don't know if I've actually ruined all my rules here. So I'm not watching my stream. Do I have like 20,000 different rules up on my page? Let's have a look. Nah, rule number 6. And possibly rule number 5 behind it. Rule number 6 though is no trading if there's a big supply demand directly above my trade, unless I can get my beautiful 3-to-1 on that supply and demand. Rule number 5 is still there. Get rid of you. Was it rule number 4 that stayed up? Yeah, cheeky rule number 4. Those are my trading rules. Those are what I try to stick to. You guys should have your own trading rules. I've made these based off what Nick teaches us in our course, and they've worked for me so far. Like since applying these rules, I've done a lot better. I've entered a lot less risky trades, and I think the important thing is I haven't entered those risky trades. I've stopped myself a few times, even on this stream. As I was talking through those rules, I've stopped myself a few times. Could my reasoning be wrong? It could absolutely be wrong. My Litecoin trade here could be absolutely wrong because Bitcoin could go on a bull run all the way to the top of the structure here. That could take my stop for Litecoin, but I'm currently at 74%. And at this point, it might be worth setting this trade to break even. Break even would be if the price came up and hit my stop loss, I would break even. I just lose $0. In fact, I'd probably set it to give me 5% back to cover the fees. For me though, I'd be looking for this trade to come a bit lower before I'm interested in setting this to break even. You guys got any questions? So my question for you there, Raske, Razg27. I don't know how to say a name, but my question for you there is, on KNC, knowing you're in premium prices, would you go long? Would you go long? Are you part of the Onyx crypto team? Are you part of the training? Are you in our Discord at all? Because for me, my number one rule, shorts at premium prices, longs at discounted prices. And this is a premium price. Compared to Thursday, the 10th of November, this is a premium price. So even though I think the price may come up, even though my gut instinct is the price is going to come up, that's no reason to take a long. It's no reason to take a long. You don't go make any sort of trade in the real world just because you think the price may come up slightly. You wait till the prices are low historically, and then you make a trade. That's a bad analogy. I can't think of a good analogy for this. It's just, yeah, the price data is here, and the price data is telling you exactly when you can consider the price to be cheap, and there's no denying it. If this is the high of the structure, and look, honestly, it may not even make it this high. This price, when I first did this structure, when I first did my structure here, this price here was what I considered to be the 50%. What if I pull a fib on the last range? Look, I found the fibs are great. When I'm doing my range calculations, I found the fibs off. And the reason why they're off is because sometimes the range is too long, too wide. And your fib gives you a misreading. See, if I did this reading from the top here, my 50% range would be right. Yeah, right there. So I'm using my rulers. I find the rulers are giving me a much better range. So there's two ways to read this chart. When I was first looking at this chart a few days ago, I was pulling my range from this point here, saying this is the high. This is the high point. That's my 50% line there. So discounted prices below, premium prices above. And you can see here we've gone well and truly above this premium price. So look, you could do a short here for sure. But I can't see a historical reason why we would be ranging here. I was hoping to see a breaker block to the left here to show me why we are ranging at this point here. But because we're ranging and it's not really like a structural point, I'm thinking we might come up and try and retest a higher price. If we do, I'm taking a short. You could take a short here. Like, we're about to break structure, it looks like. If I see this price break from here, take a look. If I see a break in structure here, yeah, if I see one, okay? If I see a break in structure, I'll be looking to take, well, I'd probably take this whole entire up candle right there. If it breaks structure. And remember, I'm not Nick, okay? I'm not being paid by Nick. I'm definitely not a coach. I'm just a guy who's been doing this for a few months more than you. I might consider taking a short right here if we break structure. If I go to KNC Binance, not perpetual, you can see it sitting on even lows from the past. Yeah, but I'm not trading on Binance, and I'm not trading on non-perpetual. I'm trading on this chart in Bybit. So this is the data that I'm going on. So I'm not even going to look at that one. They do trade slightly differently, perpetuals and normal charts. I go by what data I have in front of me. And you might be right. Maybe the I don't really care about Binance too much, but look, let's have a look quickly at the non-perpetual KNC. Let's have a look. So we'll go markets, trade. I haven't even looked at this particular market. Spot trading. Come on. KNC. Do we not have KNC spot trading on Bybit? That's disappointing. All right, let's open up TradingView. Take a look, so I can see what you're talking about. Now I'm interested. All right, let's go. Let's add KNC. Get rid of that. Binance, KSC, that's perpetual still. Perpetual. Crypto. Binance, there we go. Binance, KNC, there we go. Let's take a look. Even highs from where, bro? Back further. Looks very similar to me. Let's bring them back. Looks very similar. Unless you're saying even highs from here. But that's not really even to me. We did have even highs if you're saying we had some even highs here. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And those stops have been taken out for sure. But I don't see even highs where it currently is. That is a new high. Unless I'm reading this wrong. And even if I pull a fib from this current move up, doesn't really tell me much anyway. I mean, we could come down to that level here. Oops. But if we take into consideration the move from the bottom, we could pick up a long here, but still, that's still from my point of view not in discounted prices. We are absolutely in premium prices. No matter how I look at this, this is a premium price. So I'd be thinking, I would normally be thinking of a short in a premium price, but because I don't see the price structure that this particular point is sitting on. December 20, yeah, 2 years ago. Does Binance even go back that far? We've got even lows for sure. But what I was saying before is there's no structure down here to go off. So we can only go off what we see. Because there's no historical data that this is low. Unfortunately. With Bitcoin we at least have historical data we can look at. But with BNB, no, it's a bit different. Sorry, with KNC it's a bit different. So if you guys have a risk appetite that's a bit higher than mine, you could take a short for sure. I'll be waiting for a break in structure to take a short here. I'm hoping to see the price come up. Like this is option B. If price comes up, I'm just not sure which way it's going to go, and I don't like to put trades on when I'm not sure. Of course, I mean, who does? So I'll be looking for a break. Technically, you could say this long wick here was a break, but it turns out this particular price structure that is formed around it is a sort of a wider price structure. Voyager is dead. Nice to see you again. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Could we say this is a break here? So this price structure has broken, but it hasn't been a strong break. I'm not willing to put this particular trade on just yet. I'm just going to wait and see. Did I put that KNC order in? I don't think I did. Having the ears and eyes open. Yeah, cool. Thanks, mate. Well, I'm actually going to be logging off in a minute. I've been doing this for an hour or so. I may log like it. What do you mean sign in? I was signed in. Yeah. Thanks, Bybit. Just just randomly signs you out. Ah, dear. Authenticator. Man, I hate to be in a rush. What if you really needed to take a trade off? Where are we? Okay, we had... Yeah, my 8th trade's in. And that's it. So I'm going to wait and see for KNC. I'm going to look for some more action there before I decide to go in on that. Usually I'd be all over this. But if I had been all over this, if I had taken a short here, my stops would have been taken. My stops would have absolutely been taken if I had a trade there. For KNC, these are paper trades. Sorry, I just got a message here I'm going to look at on Discord from Japple. It tells you how much, what's this? Tells me how much money is going short and long. And that's cool, man. I don't know how that's going to help me. I will take a look at that and see if I can incorporate that into my trades. Thanks, Japple. No, these ones are paper. So I was just going through and telling everybody why I'm only doing paper for now for these ones. Because I can't see a historical price structure supporting this structure here, I think KNC will go higher. So I think we're going to see KNC try and reach these peaks up here because that's a massive big supply zone right there. But if I see price break from here with a nice big long break, I'll probably take a short when price comes back up to retest this. Probably. Because it is at the top of the structure. So that is a good time for a short. But that also depends because my feeling for ETH is in a similar boat. I'm going to wait for price to come up, and I do have this trade waiting for me in Bybit to pick it up. However, price could break through, and by saying price, I'm really looking at Bitcoin and ETH. Bitcoin may go higher or may go lower. Of course, I can always do that. My feeling is Bitcoin may come a little bit higher and struggle to get above the supply zone here, and then be looking to retrace back down. I am currently in a Litecoin short. Even though I am worried that Bitcoin may come up further up, I feel like Bitcoin, once it does come further up, it will drop anyway. So my Litecoin short, I think it's still valid because if the price does come back up, back to my point of origin, I feel like I have enough room here in this trade to sit here until we see Bitcoin price retrace. So I'm going to stick in this one. This is a real trade. Currently sitting at, I think, like 70-80% profit. 61% profit. I'm going to keep this one on. I'm just going to see how it goes. It is the top of the structure. Ticks all my boxes. Only thing we got to watch is Bitcoin's movement. And honestly, I'm surprised to see that Bitcoin broke through this mid structure. I thought it was just going to come back down, but I'm happy. I'm happy to see some movement. Honestly, I'm just happy to see some volume. Happy to have discussions because it was getting pretty boring. And for ETH, nearing the top of the structure, it's definitely in a zone I'm interested in taking a short in. And I'm just hoping that pops up, takes my short and drops. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'm hoping to see price come up, pick up my short, and then drop. So I'm in short mode, looking for shorts. So KNC is in my book as a potential. I am going to wait and see the price action move. And if the price action does get exciting this afternoon, I'll come back on and I'll stream as we're adding in those new trades. There's a couple of trades I liked. EOS, nearing the bottom of its structure. I'll be waiting for a big bull run for any other coins to make a move on EOS, but I think I may have missed this trade. That would have been lovely. But next time the price does come back down, I'll pick it up. GMT, Another one I'll be looking for a long in the future. Once price does retrace back down, I'll be looking to take that long. That's a lovely structure there. I don't think those stops are there anymore. I think price might come up, take these even high stops, and shoot back down. All right, my voice is getting tired, guys. I'm going to finish up here for the day, and good luck in all your trades. Make good decisions. All right, see you later, guys.